Alright, upsetting the neighbors in 3, 2, 1.
There we go.
Welcome to the DIYFX show, where we show you how to make props, special effects, and techniques for stage and screen, all for a price that's cheaper than a New York City call girl.
New York City?
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Eric. You've heard of going out on a bang. Well, we're going to start with a bang, because we're going to show you how to make a giant fireball using coffee creamer and air.
We created this coffee creamer rig for the critically acclaimed short film, The Dinner Guest.
And here's the clip. So there are many ways you could make a giant fireball, but coffee creamer seems relatively less dangerous, which is why we're sharing it with you. The first D is damage. Not the damage you're going to do, but the damage you'll do to your wallet.
The damage for a coffee creamer rig is about $65, 50 in PVC, 6 or 7 in creamer, and 5 or 6 for the innertube. The next D is difficulty. If you can manage basic hand tools and, PVC cement, you'll be fine.
And the last D is danger. And there is some involved in this because you're using fire. Fire. For the build, the tools you will need are PVC cement, a drill, box cutter. You need a saw or a PVC snipper, a very important propane torch, a pair of scissors, a lighter, and a rubber mallet. Okay, so what you will need for this project, you will need a 4-inch piece of PVC pipe, one 4-inch end cap, one 4 to 2-inch reducer, one 2-inch ball valve, one 2-inch coupling, one 2 to 3/4 inch bushing,
A section of 2-inch pipe.
a section of 2-inch pipe, which we have back there, and one inner tube valve.
As we just showed you, we've assembled the valve with which we use to add air to our cannon, using a bicycle valve and the 4-inch end cap. On our existing unit, we actually, instead of using the bicycle valve, we have used a tapped valve that you can get from an auto parts store. And it's just your basic bicycle valve on one side, and then it's got a threaded tap on that side. If you have access to this, to a tap set, this is a very good way to do this. If not, you can use our somewhat lower tech version with the bicycle valve. Either one works. So, assembly. So you saw me put this together. We've got this little guy glued in. Make sure that when you are on the inside of the cap, go ahead and just really glue that puppy down, because it's gonna want to curl up like you're seeing a little bit here. Just make sure that it's wound down. Once you put pressure on this, it'll hold the valve in place for you when you're doing your experiment.
Is it an experiment, really?
Shut up. Starting with your 4-inch cap with the valve installed, and your 2-foot length of 4-inch pipe, you just assemble the cap, and you're going to want to use that PVC glue. You PVC glue both sides, inside and outside, put it together, it'll hold in place. Then you get your 4 to 2-inch reducer, goes on the other end. Alright, there's your reservoir. From there you're going to need your 3 to 4-inch section of 2-inch pipe. That goes into the 2-inch reducer. Remember, you are PVC cementing all of these. Then from your 2-inch or your 4-inch section there, you're going to take your ball valve, goes into the pipe. That all goes together. Now you've got your reservoir. To step down to your 3/4 inch pipe, you're going to use your 2-inch to 3/4 inch bushing right there. That goes in the end. Once you've got that all together, bam, you've got your potato gun. For the funnel, you will need a 4 to 2-inch reducer, a 3/4 inch to 2-inch bushing, a 3/4 inch 90-degree elbow, and a section of 3/4 inch PVC pipe, 1.5 inches in minimum length. Okay, so to assemble the funnel that holds the creamer, you need your 2-inch reducer, your 2-inch to 3/4 inch bushing. Those guys go together. Remember, you're going to want to cement these guys. You're going to have a 1.5 to 2 inch section of 3/4 inch tubing, goes in the bushing, and then your 90-degree elbow. Those all go together. You got a cup to hold your creamer. You can put a section of 3/4 inch PVC between this and the potato gun. You, my friends, are set to make fire. Okay, so we're about to test our creamer cannon, and in doing so, everyone knows the combustion model, or doesn't. What you need are 3 things. You need a fuel, you need a heat source, and you need air. So what we're doing here is we're using our creamer as the fuel source, and that's just it's a finely divided hydrocarbon, which is flammable, but it's only flammable when you get it in the right ratio with air. So what we're doing here is we're going to put it in the creamer cannon. We're going to use our compressed air to aerate it up into the air, and then we're going to use our propane torch over here to ignite it. When the ratio is just right up in the air, you'll see how it catches at just the right moment and makes beautiful, beautiful flame. Now that we've got everything dialed in and we're making beautiful fireballs, one thing to mention here, you do want to make sure you have a fire extinguisher handy. You know, you're dealing with fire and flammable materials, such as grass or people and their clothing. Good thing to have handy. It's also a good thing to have just around the house. So just remember to bring your fire extinguisher when you're making fireballs. So without further ado, shall we?
All right, you take that. I'll take the fire.
All right.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. That was a pretty one.
So there you have it. You've seen our giant fireball, and I know a lot of you are thinking, I can do that digitally. Why do I have to go to all that trouble? Well, step away from the computer, Poindexter. Who doesn't want to make a giant fireball?
All right, but don't blow yourself up. Remember, safety is the key. You can also experiment with different pressures, different amounts of creamers, different types of creamers, even positioning of where you're putting the cannon. So if you enjoyed the show, please subscribe.
And if there's something you'd like to see us make, then leave us a comment below.
And if you use your effect, or our effect, please post us a video.
All right, thanks guys.
Have a good one. You ready?
I'm ready.
In 3, 2, 1. Oh, not so much.
Rubber mallet!
Hi, rubber mallet to me!
Where is my rubber mallet?